All right, what's going on, everybody? So we're back, and I didn't make a video yesterday because I did kind of crash out yesterday again, and it seems like we're just going to keep doing that. I don't know how to get out of this cycle, and it kind of sucks. But we did buy another eval, 50K on my funded futures because they were running a 30% off. I believe it was Friday of last week. And yeah, so this is the eval. As you can see, we took 3 trades on here. I got cooked on these 2 here. And this one I actually made quite a bit. And we secured, I believe we were down a total of like $600. And then I sold that one for like a $400 profit. And we're sitting at minus 280 for the day, which is perfectly fine because I'm willing to lose about $500 a day. So I'm not too pressed about that, I guess is what I'm trying to say. All right, so let's go to this one. And this trade here was the only trade I took today just because we did reject off of a 15-minute order block. I did not see an SMT, which probably was stupid to take the trade just because I only had 2 confluences, SMT, 1-minute inverse fair value gap to the downside, and we entered really low right there. I guess the draw was correct, but this whole situation right here was purely just news from tariffs announcement in Europe, I believe. And yeah, so I don't know when I'm going to figure it out. Also, I closed out of this trade really quickly just because it was 10 a.m. open. As you can see, it's 9 a.m. open for me, but yeah, I don't know when I'm going to figure it out and actually lock in and stop over trading, and 2, like crashing out trying to make a bunch of money. That's never going to work just because you over risk and all this kind of stuff. So our original funded account is about $100 away from blowing it, and then we'll be funded with 0. So that sucks, but it is what it is. And I'm learning a lot about myself and how I need to, find some other hobbies outside of trading. So I'm not just sitting here looking at the charts all day. I wish my funded futures did have the lockout feature because I feel like that could help me, but it all kind of boils down to discipline in yourself. But yeah, that's all I really have. The new eval is down about $1,000 or so. And I mean, one A+ trade, for example, if this was like a significant high, like a session high or something like that, then I would take that with an SMT and then like a 15-minute or a 1-hour fair value gap rejection above it, and then an inverse to the downside targeting like a 15-minute unfilled fair value gap. So I see one of those. Honestly, I should probably just wait for one of those because that's what I used to do. And I mean, we were having like green weeks every week, maybe one red day. But yeah, it just kind of sucks to see I blew all my accounts that I worked so hard for. So if you can learn anything from that, don't crash out if you're yourself crashing out. I believe you only have to take 1 trade a week, and you can literally just enter the trade, exit with like a $10 loss or $10 profit, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. So let's do the verse of the day and we'll move on with life because that's all you can really do. So we have Matthew 21:13. He said to them, the scriptures declare, my temple will be called a house of prayer, but you've turned it into a den of thieves. And I think what that means is that there's some people that just go to church and they continue to keep doing their sins that they go and get forgiven for in church. So they sin throughout the week, they go to church, get forgiven, and then they come back into the next week, sin the exact same sins, and then go to church. And it's just an everlasting process, which now that I'm thinking about that, I could really relate that to my trading and over trading because it's technically gambling, and that's against God's word. So yeah, guys, I will see you tomorrow, hopefully with some better news. Yeah, good luck if you are trading for the rest of the day. Hope you guys made some money today.